Oh, very good. Mixed together, separated by the vowels. What? Not a bad drawing though. The first stroke. Since coming up, draws in our air, fuel, oil mixture inside the crankcase. Intake port. Piston comes down, closes that intake port off. The transfer port, all that air fuel mixture in here gets moved up and flows into the combustion chamber. You have the exhaust gases rolling out. Maybe some might sneak out here. It's kind of the inefficiency of the two-stroke engine. And the whole thing happens over again. Right? Yeah. I was wondering about all those capitals. It's to wake you up. Yeah, we don't have valves. We have ports on a two-stroke. The Kahoot always freezes on the previous windscreen. Are you looking at the Kahoot through Bongo? I guess you have to, don't you? Oh, phone, yeah. Upgrade. Boon baboon. Oh, I see. Very good. Well, the crankshaft moves the piston, but it's the piston that actually covers and uncovers the ports. Ooh, this is a hard one. And still, my goodness. In a two-stroke engine, how many strokes are there? All right, must be a Friday. Your brains are already on vacation here for this weekend. True. Yeah, some of the unburnt fuel makes its way out. It sneaks its way out of the exhaust sometimes. And we also have oil mixed in there. It's burnt up. Yeah, Andy, that's another reason too. Yeah. Okay, good. We haven't talked about cooling systems yet. I think that's next week. True. What prevents four-stroke engines or engines like, not necessarily four-stroke, but engines with like a wet sump, like your engines in the shop? Imagine you turn that engine upside down and all that oil in your oil sump, where's it going to go? It's going to want to follow gravity and it's going to go in places we don't want it to go. Now, as an airplane's flying and banking, the G-forces normally keep the oil at the bottom, but if we're doing things like rolls or loop-de-loops or dogfighting like a military aircraft, wet sumps wouldn't work. Two strokes, it's all good. Now we can have a dry sump system, which we'll talk about next week, where it gets rid of that problem. Lubricating oil. The ports and the cylinder walls. No picture there. Remember, there's no valves. No, you're not, Kitty, and you're not Tom. Yeah, we don't vent it to atmosphere like we do in a four-stroke. We use the pressure in the crankcase. Right? We let the air-fuel mixture in, right? As the piston's going up here, right? Increasing the volume here, which draws the air in. If we had this vented to atmosphere, we wouldn't be able to have these pressure changes. Okay, as the piston comes down from our combustion event, it's also squeezing and compressing all this air in the crankcase. And when it's under pressure, as soon as we uncover this transfer port, right, can't go back here, can't go past the check valve, so it forces, it wants to go into this newly exposed area. Case is vented to atmosphere. No, not on a two-stroke. It is on a four-stroke. To prevent air-fuel mixture from leaking overboard. Well, that's not a bad answer. That's a second place answer. But the best answer is crankcase pressure is used to force the fuel air mixture into the cylinder. Oh. Well, the check valve's only on the intake side of things. So yeah, it prevents that air from going back out. We want it to get squeezed into the combustion chamber. And we open it to let it in. But when this piston comes down to squeeze this crankcase air down a bit, we don't want it to go back out there because then we lose our pressure. A little bit of pressure build up to get it. So when this transfer port is exposed, the force of the pressure helps bring that air fuel oil mixture into the combustion chamber. Oh, very good. Now, variable timing, what does variable timing help out with? Yeah, variable timing would be like moving the ignition when that happens. And that depends on how fast our piston's going up and down. The Fiat multi-air gas engine uses direct injection, no throttle, control power as well. Is that a diesel engine? No, you said gas engine. Interesting. Lots of interesting engines out there. But we're learning this old aviation technology. Fixed timing. Yeah, for cold weather starting. It's not an igniter. We don't need an igniter because we have that high pressure, high temperature compression, which ignites our fuel. Just for when things are cold. Whoa. We can't have detonation. Okay, there seems to be confusion about this here. Okay, do we know why we can't have detonation? What is detonation again? Detonation is when our air fuel mixture ignites, not at the spark plug. Well, it does ignite there too. But we have this nice uniform pressure wave. But then if we get too high a pressure near somewhere, it's going to ignite. So the difference between gasoline and diesel is gasoline, this whole area is filled with air and fuel. So we could have ignition because we have air and fuel anywhere in here. We can get these little detonation mini explosions happening. When those pressure waves collide, then we get another little one, right? That's detonation. Now, in a diesel, where we have our fuel injector, let's say the pressure's too high here or pressure too high here, it doesn't matter. We only have fuel coming out of this one source. So that's why we can't have detonation. The pressure is so high in here that it ignites the fuel and basically it shoots it. The fuel is ignited instantly, okay? And then we get our flame front coming out of there. Comprende? Sí. Last one. I thought you comprended. Okay. Yeah, and a gasoline engine, if it's fuel injected, we have fuel coming here. The valve, of course. So if that valve opens, we have fuel in the intake. And fuel is our fuel and air is sitting here, so it has a potential to burn in there. Diesel, we have the valve there, but still our fuel source is at our fuel injector here. So we can't have, it's not going to want to do that. It comprende. Very good. So we can only have backfiring or afterfiring if we have fuel. Well, we can have, I guess we could have afterfiring in a diesel. Right? If it burns and maybe this thing's spraying out too much fuel, continues to burn out there, we can have an afterfire. But backfire, no, because if this valve opens, the force of the air is going to come in this way. And there's no fuel in here. So we can't have a backfire.